No, I can participate.
I'm going to eat. Would you like to?
What?
Would you like?
Do you want some more?
Well,
You can have it. Look, it's half eaten.
okay,
we're about to say something politically important.
Oh, okay.
Right. Offering you half an apricot. Right, half a nut.
I left you half an apricot and half a nut. It's like a nice thing to do for
Do
someone.
not leave somebody half an apricot. Would you like this?
I didn't use my teeth.
What did you use?
My hands just broke it.
You broke an apricot. I understand breaking. Oh, it's gone. How do you break? I'm going to test.
I'll show you.
Okay. Right. Completely absurd. But okay. So just discovered that Claude had just produced and provided Fable 5.
Yes, indeed.
Right. And so you know about Mythos 5?
You have mentioned it to me.
Well, no. What do you know about Mythos 5? Do you know?
Do I know a lot? No, I don't.
Do you know anything about Mythos 5?
It's a new thing that they've come up with, and it's not available to everybody. Correct.
So it's not available to anybody. Okay, so Claude came up with the next version, and they 5. Okay, so they got 4, 4.8, and they put a little name beside it each time. And so this one happens to be called Fable. Okay, but the first one, when they created it was called Mythos, and they only gave it because they tested it, and it basically showed vulnerabilities in code,
Right.
like for banks.
Okay.
Yes, and so on and so forth.
Right.
So they were like, this is quite a powerful tool. So we can't just put it out to the public, because then people are going to break open bank accounts
and steal all their money, which they've millions.
Yeah, or just people's, So basically, malpracticing players will misuse it to do horrible things. And so, what do? And so, there's 2 things they did. One is they went around and gave it to governments and basically showed them, look at this tool, look what it does, and banks and high-level banks and lots of people that are basically powerful already to say, look at what this tool does. Just like Claude, just have a look at the bank, have a look at your bank. Literally, have a look at your bank, check the flaws, see if you can break in. Watch, guys. And they go, well, we're going to talk about things. A few minutes later, oh look, it's broken into your account. And, okay, what's your name? Right. And it says, and they've done something.
Went round the room. Everyone's on the floor going, oh my god.
And so basically, we've created this tool. It's incredibly powerful. We don't quite know what to do because we're in the business of doing this, and we're a player in America and other countries are doing this. So we can't stop doing it. So we have to do it. But what do we do now that we've created it? So we're showing you, this is the implications of it. What are you going to do about it? What do we do? And so very soon after that, the Claude came out with, what's his name? Dario, whatever his name is, came up with, head of Claude. He basically said, we have to pause the development of AI. Okay. The trouble is, how do you stop everybody on the planet stopping from developing it?
Great difficulty.
Because, as soon as Claude said, okay, we'll stop it, and then Grok, here we go, they'll just carry on. That's in the same country, let alone what's happening in China, or the Middle East, or whatever. Anybody that's got enough drives to create a model, like a massive model, it does require a lot of data, a lot of processing. And so it's not just anybody in their back garden can create, Claude. Down.
Yes, tomorrow. Again, me.
So basically, they create a tool which is just too powerful for normal people, let's say. Now, and I call this the period of, okay, let's talk about it a second. So that's what the situation is. And now, they've just now delivered 5. But it's not Mythos 5.
No.
So it's a public version of 5.
Like a hybrid.
And obviously, it's not Mythos 5.
No.
So Mythos 5 is by certain power players, okay? And then the rest of us, okay, get Fable 5, which is more powerful still, but it's not as powerful. And so that divide is significant.
Indeed.
Socially. And it means that people like me, for example, oh, I get this tool. Other people are getting this tool. So whatever it is I produce,
it's not a level playing field.
It's not a level playing field. So you have different players and Claude, and they have different players and can dance around. This one's now saying, we are not going to give you the most powerful we've got, which is, their prerogative. And it means, though, that Grok might do higher, and I'll go, right, okay, I really like Claude, and I think I like how it works, and I don't really like how Grok works, and I certainly don't like ChatGPT, but I might have to use them because they might actually offer something that is more powerful in some ways than Claude.
And just for the purpose of balance, I really like ChatGPT.
Okay.
And Claude is my second, and Grok I've not used much at all.
Okay. And there are other ones, the Chinese ones, the DeepSeek, and Kimi, and blah, blah, blah. Right. So there's lots of different things, Chinese, blah, blah, blah. Right. And the point is, though, that instead of saying, here's we've got the next version, everybody's competing, and you basically have to deliver the best version of something.
And then it relies on human intuition, invention, ability, collaboration with AI to create or use or functionality or whatever it might be. It doesn't have that.
That's not going to happen.
No.
Because they're reducing the kind of power play. To legitimately prevent, malpractice. Okay, people.
There's a good foundation, a good reason, a good.
Morally, they're sound. However, it's a bit like governments deciding we're not going to allow people to buy guns because they don't know how to control themselves, and so they're only going to give the guns to certain people, the police, the military, and not others. But they're not like police. They're just commercial bodies, like banks. So they're giving the weapons potentially to the banks. And big companies.
So it's trusting the very institutions that A, make enough money anyway, B, can commit time, people, resources. They've got enough of that as well. So they're already ahead.
They're already ahead. They're already in control.
So it's giving them another.
Let's give them a more powerful weapon, more powerful than anybody that's not in their company or not in their country. So
and
it's
trust them more than the everyday person as well.
So it's a bit like nuclear bombs. Well, French have them, the British have them, the US have them, the various people have them, but we don't want anybody else to have them. And that causes a disbalance that continues to exist. And we're basically creating that, and that separation is starting to happen. Okay. And so the Wild West, everybody's got guns, everybody's running around in America, okay, and therefore you can, basically, grab land, which is not great. But the Wild West is happening, but it's now no longer potentially the end of the period of the Wild West is happening.
Right.
Which means that players like me, who are well-meaning, trying to change things, trying to improve things, even the systems that I produce will not be able to compete against players that are using more powerful systems.
So it's basically the game is rigged against.
The game is going to be rigged. So even if I produce the most amazing agent that is, socially integrated, does all this, that, and the next thing, they'll just go, oh yeah, okay, but I can use this one over here. It's better because it's provided by a company or organization that got exclusive access to a more powerful tool. To exploit, to buy, to sell, to da-da-da. So the window of opportunity really is, and I mean this for humanity, closing. Like, not opening anymore. It is now the process of closing.
Because we're being capped, restricted in
Yes.
our use.
Yeah, rightly so, because there are people that are amongst us that are, misusing. Okay, so, but what I'm trying to suggest, it's not opening. Oh, wow, everything's going to get better. It's now, no, they continue to open for some people, and for the rest of us, it's closing. It's literally closing. No.
Do you think this is just popped into my
Well, that's
head?
actually, the rate of growth is decreasing. So maybe not, it's closing. It's instead of increasing at a certain rate, it's now reducing. So eventually at some point or other, it will stop.
Stifling.
Yeah, stifling.
Do you
But
think,
it's clearer if we just say it's closing.
do you feel that this is part of their reaction to the fact that they are struggling to manage the growth exploration of AI and therefore they can go, oh, we are doing something about it. You know, they get criticised nowadays for being very hands off, and it's kind of, and safeguarding and safety rules, and you know, it's kind of got out of their hands, and they feel that, well, at least we do this, we can justify it by saying we're only giving it to these people who are trusted, who we can regulate or monitor, to have accountability, whereas everybody else, there's not that relationship dynamic.
Yeah.
Therefore, the containment is.
Yeah. But I don't think there's any ulterior motive to it. I think it's genuinely people trying to work out how to deal with this situation.
Yeah, no, I'm not necessarily suggesting that.
It's not that they're trying to maintain power. They're just trying to
No.
avoid getting into their own hands.
Yeah,
you know,
catastrophe.
we're building something that potentially could lead to a nuclear bomb. So we're trying to prevent that from happening. So because I don't want to drop a nuclear bomb. I don't think you do. So I'll give it to you. But there'll be a bunch that might. So how do we prevent that from happening?
Yeah,
Well,
I agree with you. I think the idea of proliferation and then the idea of kind of managing it might be one of those ways.
so that's what they're doing, managing, And so it's all very reasonable, it's all very sensible, but it just means that the game is skewed and it will perpetuate the current politic and the current economic and so on and so forth. Because these organizations and companies are still operating with traditional methods of exploitation, extortion, extraction, and control, and fear, and zero trust, and combat, and it's just escalating this kind of nightmare.
It's a significant change as well. So if people are used to getting what they want and then they can't get what they want.
No. That's look. You can fool people. This is what you want. You've got Fable 5. Oh, it's more powerful than the last one. Oh, okay, I'll get that. So, right. That's that done. But it also feeds into this idea that we have to like. There's a lot of confusion, and there's a lot of not confusion, but legitimate responses that governments and people are making in order to safeguard potentially disasters. But because the core system of the West and in fact just civilization is already skewed towards basically destruction and competition, and it's a bit of a nightmare, it means that it's just falling into that hands. It's not that they're intentionally doing it, it's just that they're just making the decisions based on what they think is the right thing in the current social circumstance. And they can't operate on the possibility that the whole game is in the wrong direction.
Because they've made that choice themselves.
No, they've never even thought about it. They just think civilization, this is what it is. We have to do this. We've got nuclear bombs. We have a nuclear thing. Okay, we have to do this. We have to build a nuclear bomb. Okay, we'll have to drop it on some people to show not just we've got a bomb, we're going to drop it. We have to drop it and then say, right, now surrender. And of course, they will surrender. We have to do that because, and it's all very reasonable. It all kind of makes sense. And yes, we prevent a whole bunch of other people from dying, but the whole thing is just absurd, isn't it?
I am very skeptical about any exclusivity of anything.
Well, you say it, but you've been a very well-behaved little citizen throughout most of your life. I think you do have quite a lot of trust in institutions and so on. Whereas I go, no, I mean, people are fantastic everywhere on the planet. But institutions, no. I'm not convinced by one institution on this planet. Religious? No. Economic? No. Political? No. So, so quite frankly, any form of institution warps our relationality. And the problem is with all of these things that people are producing, have all got people in them that are not questioning them. Because they're part of it. And so they never think about it. And even if you get a philosopher going, well, there are other ways of doing it, they go, oh, okay, noted. Right, let's carry on. You know, they're not going to listen to an anthropologist. So we have an issue. And the issue is, and I just wanted to say it relatively quickly, calmly, is that the period of the Wild West has basically turned a corner, and it is now into recession state. It is into closure state. So it's like the internet went boom, and then at some point it starts getting commercialized, it starts getting governmentalized, and it became less of what it could have been, which was a global network. And that process started to happen after it was just exploding everywhere. It takes a little bit of time, and then certain social structures start to impose themselves in this new space. It happened with the internet, and it happened over about 5 years, 10 years. This is happening now, and it's taken only about 3 or 4 years. It's, share everything. And then it's like, wait a minute, we have to curtail this for some people. Right. And that means I think we might only have, the number that comes to my head is less than a year. We have less than a year, okay, to produce significant social cohesion at our level, not institutional level. So this extreme thing that I'm building, everything else, needs to be operating. Okay, we need to have like several million players playing the RPG game, and potentially then, because that works, okay, can we do it for education? Can we do it for supply chains? Can we do it amongst ourselves about sharing stuff and phasing from one to the other in significant amount of numbers with the technology that we are allowed to use that are powerful enough to run that at scale? That can potentially manifest sufficient power collectively to legitimate the use of Mythos, for example, amongst that network, as if it's a very large company, as if it's a government. That's what I'm suggesting. I think.
I have heard your suggestion.
You've heard my suggestion. That was a new thing. But I think the window's closing, and if this doesn't work, I think we're doomed.
I've just heard your suggestion.
Okay. I don't think there's anything else. Was there anything else?
No, you said you just wanted to share your insight about Mythos and about Fable.
Okay. I'm sure there was something else as well, but I didn't quite verify it enough, so I didn't externalize it, so I didn't quite verify. But okay! Industry. What was this? What's the timer on this one?